listen.
This week's question comes from William from the UK over at our email, nvc@ign.com.
I know him. Just kidding.
William asks, with the recent Zelda DLC, do you think we have seen the end of major Breath of the Wild updates? I can see more little additions like Xenoblade content, but do you think the developers have now almost completely moved their focus to the next project? Would you personally like to see more DLC? Thanks, William.
Yes, I would love to see more DLC. I think it all depends on how adoption was for this first content pack, right? Like, it's such a big game. You can imagine they can still iterate and release new quests. And, you know, like looking at it almost seemed effortless when they added all these new shrines and all these new puzzles. And you're like sitting there, you're like, are you not out of ideas?
Yeah. With
like these elements, like why can you keep going? And so I think they can.
Yeah.
You know, they obviously have a huge team too.
Mm-hmm. It's much more cost effective to do that, you know? Reinventing the wheel.
Yeah. I got to think there's something more coming.
Yeah, honestly, for me, like, they built such a beautiful world with that engine, and there's so much of it that I personally have yet to see. Like, I haven't explored all of it, and so I think that they could definitely add even like a DLC pack 3 or 4 that fills it out a little bit and adds more content, like actual story-driven, like more focused on building out the story, or maybe even a separate storyline would be really cool, because there's just so many opportunities, so many different things that they could add to that world to keep
monster
it going.
truck.
Yeah, or like a Kraken or something crazy like that.
Sure, yeah.
Put some like, Wind Waker stuff in there. It'd be cool to see
I agree. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Goldfarb and I did the interview with Anuma in LA the other day, and like we asked him this specifically. We're going to put that story up soon. But I will say personally, like, I would love to see more of it because it is such a strong foundation, and I know that it's going to be a very long time until we get another Zelda game like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like years.
Yeah.
Like I would say it would be 3 to 5 years at the earliest before we see anything even remotely close to Breath of the Wild scale. And I think even then,
I think it'll be 2 years. I think
2 years?
In 2019 Christmas, you'll get a sequel using that same engine.
You think 2019 we're going to get a sequel to Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
You're out of your mind. No way. What? I mean, look, I would love
keep
it.
Straight. I think it'll be soon. It won't be 5 years.
Yeah.
I think 2019 is pushing it. Maybe 2020 in March. 2020.
Yeah.
2020 makes sense.
No, because they have this great engine and this great physics system and everything set up. And like, as you heard in some of the interviews, they played around with hook shots, even dual hook shots. Like
That was our
getting
interview,
around,
yeah.
Yeah, getting around Spider-Man style. Like, I feel like you can use the foundation and riff on that original engine, and they have a huge team.
Yeah, they
Forget
had
that.
they had apparently experimented with dual hook shots. I asked them about flying machines, about how the audience has sort of latched on to. I don't know if you've seen the videos of people like kit bashing things in that game.
Oh yeah, it's
And
amazing.
They basically use magnesis inside of like a rusted old like horse cart, and they're just flying through the sky. And they were like, "Well, flying was like the one thing we wanted you to think about that you couldn't do. You know, it was just out of reach, and so it sort of makes climbing more." Impacting, you know, like to scale a building, scale a wall in that game is huge. That when you get to the tallest thing in the entire game, and if you just flew up there or dual hook shot it up there, it would kind of lessen that a little bit. So, but I think that they have a foundation, they have a world. I think we'll see more stuff added to it, and I think it will be goofy. I think like this is their time to get like kind of nonsensical, like in the same way we saw that Monster Hunter trailer where there were just like Mega Man's in it. Now I think you'll start to see like Mario stuff. You'll start to see stuff from other Zelda games, like, you know, or maybe some more like you said with the stuff they added recently for XenoQuest or Xenogears. Xenoblade. One of those names.
It would be
I'm so tired.
I mean, with that engine, it'd be amazing because, I mean, Breath of the Wild is incredible, of course, but when you go back to Ocarina and Majora's, they're great and they're unique. So if you did that style of game in this engine, in this world, that'd be great. The dungeons, the classic Zelda, but with the abilities of Link in this world would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like the dungeons you could come up with that ability would be amazing. You know?
Majora was already the kind of game B to Ocarina of Time. They said, we're going to reuse most of the assets. It has the same characters, but in a kind of like a Alice in Wonderland, different cast kind of setup, right? That was, I think, the fastest that they were able to turn around another 3D Zelda game by reusing assets.
Yeah, and that's the best case scenario for a sequel here, right? Is the sort of Majora's Breath or Master.
Yeah, Haunted Hyrule. It's like different enemies and
Yeah.
But
I like that.
But I wouldn't like it if it was the exact same map.
I agree.
Because exploration of the map was such a huge deal. Unless it's flooded. If it's underwater and we got a ship,
Just flood it.
and the whole country is underneath, good. That's
Water
fine.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get to find the gasoline.
What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out our conversation. And if you like what you heard, definitely make sure you're subscribed to NVC over at youtube.com/Nintendo Voice Chat. And for everything else Nintendo related, keep it right here on IGN.